Section 5.1, parentheses. Parentheses are known as grouping symbols because they group objects together. Example, compute 6 minus negative 4. The parentheses around the negative 4 tell us that the negative and the 4 are grouped together so that we think of them as a single object. 6 minus negative 4. You may recall from before that subtraction means addition of the opposite. So addition of the opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. So this turns into 6 plus 4, which is 10. Example, compute 20 plus 3 times 40 minus 2. In this problem, the parentheses are grouping the 20 and the 3 together, and the 40 and the negative 2 together. And so when we use the distributive property, we need to distribute everything from here with everything from here. And this leads us to our FOIL calculation. 20 plus 3 times 40 minus 2 is equal to 20 times 40, that's the first. Outer will be a minus 20 times 2. Inner will be a plus 3 times 40. And last will be a minus 3 times 2. This is 800 minus 40 plus 120 minus 6. 800 minus 40 is 760. 760 plus 120 is 880. 880 minus 6 is 874. Parentheses can also indicate a calculation that needs to be computed first. Example, compute 12 minus parentheses 3 plus 6. The 3 plus 6 are grouped together with parentheses, and so that's indicating to us that we need to do that calculation before we finish the rest of the calculation. 12 minus 3 plus 6 is equal to 12 minus 3 plus 6 is 9, and 12 minus 9 is 3. Example, compute 12 times parentheses 14 minus 5 divided by 3. 12 times 14 minus 5 divided by 3. Here we have parentheses inside of parentheses, and the way we approach this is that we go to the innermost first and work our way out. 12 times 14 minus 5 is 9. That value, 9 divided by 3, is going to be 3, so 12 times 3, which is 36. Section 5.2, Order of Operations, Part 1. Depending on the order in which you calculate an expression, you might get different results. Example, compute 8 minus 2 times 3. We're going to do this calculation in two different ways. If we started with the 8 minus 2, we would get 6 times 3, which is 18. If we started with the 2 times 3, we get 8 minus 6, which is 2. And as you can clearly see, 18 and 2 are not the same value. So the question is, which one's the correct one? Mathematicians have come up with this thing called the order of operations. The order of operations is a set of rules that have been developed so that everyone interprets mathematical expressions the same way. And the reason why we've picked the rules the way we have is because it will make things in the future easier to read and easier to calculate. Here's a partial list of the order of operations. You do multiplication and division, left to right, and then you do addition and subtraction, left to right. Example, compute 12 plus 3 times 5, indicating the steps. We can see in this problem that we have two operations. We have an addition operation and we have a multiplication operation. The question is, which one do we do first? According to the order of operations, multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction. So the multiplication comes first. 12 plus 3 times 5. I'm going to underline the multiplication just for emphasis. You don't actually need to do this, but it's helpful. So 12 plus 15, and in that step we just multiplied, so we indicate that we just did a multiplication step. And 12 plus 15 is 27, and that's an addition step. Notice that we've indicated our steps here in a third column. This third column is used in math textbooks and in professional mathematical papers, often to describe a calculation or explain what's going on because it's sometimes complicated. We're doing this here to get in the habit of explaining steps, because this is actually the most important part of a calculation, to be able to explain what's going on. The numerical part itself is also important, but understanding how things come together will get you further in math than simply knowing and memorizing calculations. Example, compute 10 minus 3 plus 6 indicating the steps. Again, we notice here that we have a subtraction and an addition. Which comes first? Some students have actually learned that addition comes before subtraction. That is wrong. It's addition and subtraction done left to right. So starting from the left and working our way right, the subtraction will actually come first. 10 minus 3 plus 6. 10 minus 3, that's the subtraction. We'll do that first. 10 minus 3 is 7. We just subtracted. 7 plus 6 is 13, and we just added. Example, compute 24 divided by 3 times 2. We have a division, or we have a multiplication. Which one comes first? Multiplication and division done left to right, so the division step comes first. 24 divided by 3 times 2, division first. 24 divided by 3 is 8, we just divided. 8 times 2 is 16, we just multiplied.